it's editorial time. Yeah, Nintendo has finally released N64 games onto Nintendo Switch Online, which got me genuinely hyped the first time I saw the trailer. I didn't record the reaction this time, thank God, but yes, the ability to play N64 classics and some Genesis titles on my Switch is what led me to almost subscribe to the service until I saw that price and heard about everyone's first-hand accounts, which led me to make this video. Mind you, I have 2 Switches and plenty of multiplayer capable games, and yet I haven't thought about this service since like late 2018 when a 17-year-old me made a video about it. That's how bad of a service Nintendo is offering, and I do mean bad. Transferring Switch saves between your consoles is still a nightmare, which is why I just treat my main Switch and my Lite like 2 separate consoles. The online is laggy according to those who pay for it. I wouldn't know, I don't play Smash, which just leaves the NES, SNES, Genesis, and N64 games as the biggest pull for those of us who, you know, have a life. And objectively, having access to 112 games, give or take, for only $50 a year is amazing. Let's get that the fuck out of the way right now. Hell, you're able to play Star Fox 2 officially without the need to go bankrupt, which is why this video is not titled Nintendo Switch Online is not worth your money, because for the amount of content you're getting, it is. It's Game Pass for retro fans. The only problem is that Xbox doesn't release games at a snail's pace, and I'm still able to buy PC games outside of Game Pass. I don't think I'm being too fucking 1984 by saying that Nintendo has completely cornered the retro market. They're holding your nostalgia captive and will only release them if you meet their demands, such as paying $60 for a lazy collection within a short time span, or else it's gonna go back in the fucking Disney vault. What makes it even worse is that Nintendo has fostered this hatred against all forms of emulation, except for their own, which gave them such a power trip that they even tried this. $30 extra a year for 9 N64 games and 15 Genesis games. Listen, the professionalism mask is off. $30 extra for 23 games that I can get anywhere else is already ridiculous as is. Not to mention that the emulation isn't even completely accurate. Nintendo's re-releases of the Zelda 64 duology has gotten consecutively worse and worse with each console generation, which honestly didn't bother me on the Wii U. I was a teenager, I didn't give a shit if the screen was darker. It's fucking Ocarina of Time for $10, I'm not gonna care. But the reason it bothers me here is because Nintendo goes on and on and on about what they do being so superior to unofficial emulation. So much so that they will charge you $20 to $50 for you to see it with your own 2 eyes. And yet, somehow, in 2021, the Nintendo Switch Online re-release looks worse, even when compared to their very own Virtual Console releases in the past. And the same goes for any other game on this service that used fog to cover up visual anomalies, such as Mario Kart 64. I haven't even gotten to the fact that the controller pack just isn't emulated, meaning that you can't save ghost data in Mario Kart 64 or hard save at all in WinBack. Mind you, this is something that Project 64 has already taken care of by simply selecting an option from a fucking drop-down menu. You can't even remap buttons in the application itself. You have to tinker with it in the Switch's settings, which means if you have only one controller, you want to play Switch Online, and then you want to play Super Mario Odyssey, you gotta fuck with it every single time you switch it between them. That means that the only way to play the games properly out of the box is with the brand new N64 controller that is also $50. While incredibly accurate to the original, it's understocked. Wow, I didn't see that one coming. And its stick box is even cheaper than the original, meaning that everybody is going to deal with a floppy control stick sooner rather than later. There's a penis joke in there somewhere, but I'm not gonna say it. I'm mature. I love that Nintendo marches to the beat of their own drum. Their games have amazing art direction while not worrying about high definition graphics. They don't feed into gaming trends for the most part. They seemingly give their developers more than enough time to finish their games, which is hard to find nowadays. Their software doesn't come out unfinished and buggy. Can't really say that about the hardware though. However, it's this side of the business that really makes me wish that they gave a shit about literally anything else besides money just for 5 seconds. I don't hate the people working at Nintendo or their work. As a matter of fact, it's because I love Nintendo's catalog so much that it makes me angry with this decision. I, as well as the entire internet, said all the way back in 2018 that this online service is a fucking joke. Everyone knew that the games would be drip fed. Some of you even called it that one of the reasons they delisted 3D All-Stars was to have 64 be a Switch Online title. The sheer clairvoyance of some of you people. I don't believe in mind readers or like fortune tellers, but this shit got me thinking. 3 years and all they can do is muster up 9 N64 games. One of which is already on the system and another just doesn't look right on top of being extremely laggy. And y'all expected Game Boy games. Oh yeah, we'll get GameCube games when my grandchildren are born. I legitimately don't like being negative just for the sake of it, although those ironically end up being my funniest videos, so let's just hope it's the same case with this one. If this service was just Game Pass but with retro Nintendo titles, I'd be all for it. The truth is that Nintendo Switch Online just isn't worth your time because you can easily get a better experience through emulators, nor is it worth your money because by giving them that $20 to $50 a year, they're just getting the outcome they always wanted. Your money in their pocket for doing little to nothing. I legitimately believe that the only reason this service has gotten away with this so far was that it was so cheap that most subscribers just didn't think about it. But with this $50 expansion and all of the problems that came with it, people are giving it more attention for the time being. Fans are advocating for unofficial emulation over supporting these kinds of practices again, for now. Because like everything else in this industry, this will be forgotten within a couple of weeks, and at the end of the day, Nintendo will still have your money. Sorry I ended it on such a sour note. If you'd like to see more of these off-the-cuff editorial pieces, then don't forget to like, subscribe, and all that jazz. I'll catch you guys next time. Later, kids. Have a good night.
Yo, listen up. We will not live in a two-dimensional world.
We won't go in one direction
or see where we can zag.
We will walk through walls.
We will take a look around us.
We will not be confined.
We believe in the path of least limits.
We won't be told how to view the world.
We will experience true freedom. We will not compromise.